Alright, now it's working. So whatever, there's a little bit of a delay, and
Alright, now it's working.
so I'm gonna kill myself to show you guys that it's a fresh start, and this is a hardcore server. You start with this fang knife, the glow stick, and a bandage. The chicken and the flashlight I just picked up, but so you guys know this is grabbing already. See, there's a cop. Gonna kill him quick while I'm talking, just for the fun of it. So this is a closed server. It's not supposed to open until next week, and the owner gave me permission to be on it to just test it out before he's, you know, obviously he's gonna wipe it again, so any progress I make right now is not gonna stay. So he's still working on it, like getting it together. There's no dynamic crashes, there's no heli crashes, no trains, none of that stuff. And all the loot is reduced to like nothing. I went through a town and couldn't even find a piece of clothing. So I'm gonna start right now. It is third person, by the way. I just play in first. So here we go. Now that everything is working right on the stream, we'll just see. We'll take it as it comes. So Sitnik. Alright, I guess we're starting with a good spawn. And like I said, you start with the knife, the bandage, and the glow stick. And I asked them about the knife, you know, I was like, if it's hardcore, why are you starting with a knife? And basically, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it without the knife, but if you're getting the same spawn over and over, I guess you could guarantee a small stone, but without having the same spawn, and you know, you spawn in the middle of the field, you might not get a chance to get a stone. So I agreed with them, you know, I guess you gotta have a knife, because I was basically, by the time I ran to somewhere to get a small stone, my guy was flashing red. You know, I found the stone and saved his life, but then I stepped on the fire and it killed me. I have an issue with that. I do it a lot. You'll see anyway. But let's just see how far we can get. Like I said, he's gonna be wiping it at the end of the week anyway to get a fresh start. So, and I'm just doing like a preview today because he let me on it before anybody. You can see this is the server right here, and there's nobody on it. It's like locked right now, so you need a code to get on. You know, and I just told him, I was like, listen, I'm really interested in the challenge. There's not many actual hardcore servers, and where this server is more, I guess, realistic, you know, like you may not find any loot in a town, you know, and some of the zombies are infected. They do have a little bit of loot on them, but you know, chances are it's nothing that's gonna, you're not gonna be like, oh my god, look what I found. But this is my first real 10 minutes on the server. I haven't done much with it, but I wanted to see exactly how far I could get. And I could tell you already, like, I'm already messing up because I should have made a fire already. And I'm basically not caring. I don't necessarily like this spawn. you know, there's a medical here, but there's no loot. So I'm guaranteeing I'm going to go in the medical, and there's not going to be any medicine there. So I have to kill all these zombies. And I know I'm going to say zombies a lot, and I don't even believe that they're infected, but so many people say zombies to me that it just gets insane. And then also, if you notice, like, that infected had a hat on. I've not seen a hat as a spawn yet, so I'm going to try to have to be careful and not ruin the hat. I mean, I bet you anything the thing is ruined, because I was just slashing. Yeah, of course it's ruined. But I just have to, you know, be wary of that in the future. But I'm not gonna worry about this. I'm probably gonna kill myself again to get a different spawn. Yeah, there's nothing in the medical like I suspected. I did see some loot earlier in a tent, a medium tent was like full, you know, and I just put my stuff in there to be nice, but I'm gonna I'm gonna stay away from it. Basically, I'm not gonna go back and loot that tent because it'll kind of be like cheating my run. But yeah, I just wanted to see if there was anything in the medical, even though I knew there wasn't gonna be. And I'm kind of imagining that I'm gonna have to get into like tier 3, tier 4 area in order to find some good loot. But my next spawn, I'm gonna, you know, make a fire. Oh, bandage, that's good. See, I have the can of beans. This is what you start with, the glow stick, can of beans, stuff like that. I'm gonna go for a new spawn. Like, basically I wanted to just check that medical because I was in Sitnik, but this right here, like, the owner already told me there's not gonna be excuse me, there's not gonna be like clothes laying around to make rags out of and stuff like that. You're gonna have to like keep your wits about you. And since there's not gonna be any dynamic events like trains or helis or anything like that, it is gonna be a lot tougher. And you can see, without a fire, how fast I got down to red. Like, I'm gonna be flashing anytime now. And I believe he said it's negative 20 degrees. It could be 20, but either way, it's freezing cold. And if it's not freezing cold, I mean, even though I hate sitting next to a fire every 10 minutes, it's not that difficult. You know, if it's warm all the time, you could go longer without food and stuff like that. So let's just respawn here, and then we'll go for a real run, you know, and see what it really is. I'm waiting for a friend of mine. He just messaged me like 10 minutes ago, and he only does PvP, so he won't play on a PvE server, which I can respect that. I mostly play on official, but I killed a guy this morning in Polana, and I had this message about this server right here. I really enjoy the hardcore servers, you know, whether even if it's PvP, it doesn't matter, I'll do it. But the harder the better, you know, like, I don't want to walk into every town and be given everything. You know, don't get me wrong, I think I have a different idea of what hardcore is than most people. You know, I feel like once you get so far into the map, you should be, you know, rewarded for what you're doing. But everybody has their own interpretation of hardcore. You know, some people, the game is just hard by itself, so it could just be vanilla, and that's hardcore for them. Whereas, you know, I was just on a server the other day, they called it hardcore. There was nothing hardcore about it. It wasn't cold. Everything was basically being thrown at you. It was vanilla minus, I'll give it that. You know, like all the numbers for the loot was cut in half, but that only works if you have a full server. You know, if you have a 24 pop server and there's 4 people on it and you've cut all the loot in half, it's not really cutting the loot in half. You know, when you take all the numbers down, that's across the whole map, like if you have a full population. So if you don't have a full population, you're still going to be finding a lot of stuff. You know, so it's all like in the code and whether or not the person knows how to do all that stuff, you know? And I've been dying to make my own server for the longest. I think that I could come up with, you know, a really good server, but it's just whether or not, you know, people are going to enjoy it. Everybody wants to be given everything in this game. I don't know why, but they're just like, you know, they want everything right away, and they don't want to do any work for it. I'm not sure why that is, but it's a survival game, so... Oh, I made 2 fireplaces. So this is how you get your stuff back. See how that fell apart quick. Oh, I messed up. That's my bad. Get over here. I meant to make a hand drill kit. Ordinarily, I don't play cold servers. It's a hassle. And it's a pain in the ass. But when everything's said and done, it's, do you want to be a better player, or do you just want to, you know, play the game? You know, so, I mean, really, it's like, where do you want to be? So, it's easy to get a gun and run around and kill people. Like, that's the easy part of the game. You know, especially when you jump on a community server and there's like a reticle and stuff, like basically they're lining the shot up for you. But DayZ is a survival game. You know, at the end of the day, it's not a mill sim. It's not Armory Forger. You're supposed to be sitting by the river, you know, catching a fish and meeting up with people and taking care of them and, you know, trying to take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? But once I get this heat buff, we'll get underway. And like I said before, the server's not even open yet. It's not going to open to the end of the week. It's more of a veteran thing. Like, your average player's not going to get on here and have a great time because they're not going to be able to survive. They're just going to keep dying over and over, you know? Whereas, if you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to survive. And, you know, resources, there's not a lot of them. Right, so you could see there's nobody online with me, but there's no dynamic events, there's no trains, there's no cars even. There's no cars on this map, there's no trucks, there's no Hummer. Everything is on foot. It's as realistic as possible. You know, most likely end of the world type stuff. You know, if it was the end of the world, would you have access to a car? No. You know, would I prefer To have a car? Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I play these servers where there's no cars. For instance, I played a Cherno server last week. It said it would just started up, so I was like, okay, this is awesome. I checked it out, joined the Discord or whatever like that they had going, read what was going on. I guess there was only one truck on the server, and the truck was in Northwest Airfield, and the wheels were in Zelino military. So I was like, you know what? I did everything there was to do. I did both static zones. I went all the way to Tizzy and came back down to the coast. The only thing I didn't do was put the truck together. And so it's fine. Like, I just dropped all my gear and killed myself, and I'm ready to move on. You know, I'm not really interested in playing somebody else's game. You know what I mean? Like, if it's just a question of surviving, the only way I'm dying is if somebody else kills me. You know? Like, people tell me about their hours all the time. I'm like, I got 5,600 hours. I'm like, you're getting overrun by some villagers. You know what I mean? On a vanilla setting. Like, who cares about your hours? You know, how long can you survive? And that's what I try to, like, you know, tell people. Like, if you can't survive, like, you're not that good. And I'm not saying it for an ego thing. It's just what it is. It's a survival game that people with low IQ try to turn into a milsim because it's easy to shoot somebody. Yeah, it's easy to shoot somebody, but you can't survive. You know? So that's what I take it for. I am gonna be headed over to the static zone right away because I want to see if the gas is there. Earlier I heard a dynamic zone go off, so I'm pretty sure there's a gas zone. But I'm just not sure if the static zones are active. So I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm not hitting the hat guy in the head because I need that hat. There is not going to be a hat that spawns. I haven't seen one. And without that hat, I'm not going to make it. So, as you can see, these guys are not overwhelming me. I'm going to take them out, you know. Are they going to do a little bit of damage to me? Yeah, probably. But I'm getting that guy's hat. That's going on my head. You know. That's another thing, like, people don't realize. Like, when you're playing a hardcore survival game like DayZ, can you do what you need to do to survive? You know, are you gonna ruin that hat, or are you gonna be able to get it off his head? Now, I played a server called Have a Bad Day, and there was no loot, like, on the ground, really. You know, you could find a lot of stuff, but in order to get your survival going, you had to kill people the right way, you know? Like, you need their hat, you need their backpack, you can't just, you know, be slashing away at them, going crazy. And like I said, I don't think, it kind of seems like there's no loot on this server at all. Like, I haven't found anything on the ground yet. So, I'm just trying to kill all the zombies and infected, whatever you want to call them, and just make my way, you know? And I'm gonna be honest, this is not for everybody. Like that dude, I need his stab vest right there. Like, there's no way around it. I need that insulation. So I can't afford to ruin any of it. Is it? No, it's not ruined, just lagging a little bit. So this server right here, like, even though I'm not gonna be searching every single house or whatever, because I just want to get where I'm going. You kind of, like, you can't leave anything to chance. You know, like, realistically, you should be checking everything and killing all the infected to see what's in their pockets. I already know there's no food in any of their pockets, but there could be bullets. Like, that police guy had bullets on him. He had the stab vest, and you're gonna need bullets because there's gonna be wolves. Like, guaranteed, there's no way around it. Sooner or later, you're going to run into wolves, so you have to have a gun. Now, I don't know if I recorded it or I clipped it or whatever, but when Sakal first came out, I was playing on a hardcore server. I killed a whole pack of wolves with a knife, right? So I've done it before. You know, was I messed up? Yeah, they hurt me pretty bad. And then my stupidity, I just, you know, took off. I did not know that there was an extra wolf. So that wolf, like, came back 2 minutes later when, you know, I was just getting my stuff together and bit me one time and killed me and I died. You know, so, but I can take out a pack of wolves with a knife. It's just, you know, it take everything out of you. And I'm not talking about from, like, standing in the house with their head going through the wall either. I'm talking about in an open field. You know, on Sakal, was like on a hillside in the snow, slashing at them. But, let's see, I have a stick. So I need to get some food going sooner or later. I don't think any food spawns. I'm not really sure, but I think he said there's no food on the zombies, and you gotta, like, fish and hunt. So we're gonna have to find a cow maybe and cut it to death. But that's why I'm headed this way anyway. Gleniska has a couple farms. And then of course we're gonna have to find a knife pretty soon as well, because this knife isn't gonna last forever. Let me eat my can of beans. And then obviously this is going to be pretty boring. You know, not everybody's going to be into it. Everybody likes the fast running around, like killing people and trolling people and stuff like that. I don't really care about that. I would prefer to listen to the background music and just do my own thing. You know what I mean? But of course I want to run with some friends. Like if I could get 20, 30 people on here to run with me, I would do that in a second, you know? But I want to see if the gas is there. If the gas is there, I'm probably going to rush in and this guy's going to die to gas poisoning, because I'm going to see what's in the gas zone. You know, at the end of the day, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I like playing the hardcore servers, but myself personally, I feel like when you go into the static zones or the bunker or anything like that, that you should be, like, you know, rewarded for it properly. You know? Where's that fox at? Did you guys hear that? There it is. You gonna stay there for me so I can kill you? I need to eat you, buddy. See if I can sneak up on him. I have to get that to eat him. Like, there's no way around it. The guy already told me there's only hunting. I've only ever, you know, obviously I've shot a fox before, but I've never been able to catch one with a knife and kill it. I trapped one before, but I've never caught one and killed it. Snare trap them with a worm. Okay, so yeah, I was just talking. Sorry. Um, get back to the little stream here. Even if nobody's watching, it doesn't matter. It's more or less a documentary of the things that I did. You know, I do go back and watch my own stuff. Not that this is gonna be, you know, oh, this is great, but if I mess up, if I make a mistake, I'll be able to go back and, you know, correct that mistake. Like usually there's mushrooms. I don't think there's any mushrooms. I think everything that he could think of was turned off. So that's why I'm not really looting either. It's just, you know, here and there. I have seen some stuff on the server. You know, saw a medium tent and it was full of stuff. So there is stuff here. It's just a matter of, you know, where it's at and how much time do you have to look for it, basically. Honestly, I don't imagine finding much. You know, because I spoke with the owner earlier this morning, and he more or less said, like, you're not even going to really be able to find clothes to make rags for an improvised fishing pole. So if, you know, the loot is that low, I don't know more or less how you're going to be able to survive. I did have, I found a sporter earlier, and I mean, obviously, if it's still on the ground, I'm gonna pick it up because most guns last 8 hours, and that'll help me, you know, kill a fox. But I could tell you right now, like a sporter is not gonna kill a cow, not unless you have the full 30 round mag, because I've tried that before. So more or less, I have to find a some type of gun. I found a P1 earlier also with one bullet in it, which I don't think that's gonna kill a cow either. But I don't even remember him. I don't even think he said there was any cows. I think he said like wolves, bears, and deer, and chickens and stuff like that. But if I could find some wire, that's gonna go a long ways for trapping. You know, I just have to dig up some worms. And then of course I'm gonna have to find, like, start collecting small stones at some point because this knife is not gonna last forever. I don't think there's any seed packs either. I'm not really sure what to expect, to be honest with you, because it's up in the air. If he's gonna wipe the server, that means he's still trying to weed stuff out before he lets people on. So, just gotta, you know, basically just making a run here, you know, trying to enjoy the afternoon. And like I said, this is a brand new server, so it should be a good time. I know I don't need any more bandages, so I hope these guys actually have something on them. Like those NBC zombies sometimes have filters on them, and I'm not sure where I'm going to get NBC gear to go into the static zones. You know, and if everything is, like, I believe at a 90% reduction, how long is it going to take me to get, you know, the stuff together to go into the static zone? There's no convoys, so the only place to get the punch card is going to be in the airfield or redundant, so it's going to be a necessity to try to get into there. You know, and another thing, if there's no loot anywhere, like, what's the point of me hanging around here? I'm gonna have to get into tier 3, like, pretty quickly if there's no loot, right? Actually, let me go back. This house over here is part of the medical ring. I don't have any hopes for it, but maybe one of these infected has like a stack of rags on them or a stone knife or something. I could use all that stuff. Oh, come here, guy. Like, this guy might have a little bandages on him or something. I mean, does anybody know, like, why, you know, they reduced the loot by 90% instead of capping it? You know, because I could see if you have a 20 slot server and you're like, oh, I'm going to cap the loot, so, you know, once 20 bandages are gone, you know, there's not going to be any more bandages, you know. I think that just makes more sense to me than not being able to find any loot at all, because at the end of the day, loot can only spawn within 400 or 500 meters of you. So there's nobody else on the map. There's no loot anywhere else besides right here. So does it make sense to be at a 90% reduction and have no loot in the town? I don't know. I'm more or less like, if it's a 20 slot server and you're doing it for, let's just say the lifetime is a wipe, 4 months or 6 months, whatever the updates are where they ask you to wipe, you call that like the lifetime of the server. There'll never be any more than, 20 sewing kits or 20 duct tapes, 20 outfits, stuff like that. So if you use and abuse the stuff and just run out of everything, then you're going to be playing for a month or two with nothing. That was a dynamic zone I just heard go off. I want to say that's in the deck. No, it can't be, because this is Brenna. Could be. Well, I don't think it is. It's gotta be, Sabaka. And then, yeah, it could be Nadek. Oh, a mummy. I didn't know there was mummies on this server. Yeah, I did not know that there was mummies on the server. I'm gonna have to figure this out because you can't stand toe to toe with a mummy. And there's no way that I'm just gonna be able to fight him without standing on something. It's also gonna ruin my knife, so I'm gonna have to get a spear of some type to fight him. Like, usually a stone spear is the best way to do it. He will leave us alone and go about his business if we lay down. Yeah, I did not know there was mummies on here. Actually, I'm not going to be able to wait because I'm going to lose my heat buff. So we're going to have to just get over to a car and deal with him. Because my heat buff is just going to go away. Alright, come on guys, let's go do this. And I need to look in that mummy's pocket as well, because he could be the one that actually has something on him that I could use. Oh, this guy's got a good hat on. OKZK cap. Okay, so this guy has a vest on him. I'm gonna need that. So that actually hit good. I hit him in the head. Hopefully I'll be able to get that vest. So now this guy right here, I'm just gonna have to punch and punch and punch him until he drops dead. And hope that he's got something decent in his pockets, like another knife or something I could use. And then if he does have something in his pocket, well, I guess I'm gonna have to kill every mummy I see, because there's not much loot on the ground. It would be great if he has a fox injector. Then I could run into the airfield and just take a look around quick. But see, I'm dying already because he's killing all my time. So come on. Yeah, so usually once I get some storage space on a server like this, like a backpack, I'll get, I'll make a fireplace and fill it up basically. Fill it with rags, fill it with bark, fill it with logs, fill it with the small sticks, just so I could, take it apart and have everything right there ready to go. Because the server is so cold that if you're already dying, it you'll be dead before the fire gets started. It's a pain in the butt, but that's what it is. You know, like I said, it's a survival game, so you're surviving. It's not, you know, hey, let me find... Oh no. This is not good. Oh, bandages and codeine. Oh, he's got a canteen. So that's good. That means I'm going to be able to purify some water if I get a, some chlorine. I would say I could boil it, but the last time I boiled water I got sick anyway, because I guess you can't necessarily boil it anymore. But yeah, everything is going to be a problem the whole time. You're just basically dying. That's why people they don't necessarily like this style of server. Like, I need this fire more than I need to wrap my hand up, you know, because I'm bleeding. Like, that's the truth. Now I'll fix my cut and break up some more sticks. But I do need to find some rags or some type of gloves. Even if they're the plastic, the medical gloves, surgical gloves, whatever, I need to get those because I won't be able to cut anything up and eat it unless I wash my hands first. Right, so like I have a whole box of 5.56. Now, the only reason I'm opening this is because if a zombie scratches me or infected scratches me, then it'll ruin that box of ammo. Whereas now, they're pristine. Right, and although this Pioneer mag is badly damaged, if I could find the Pioneer at a... Well, there's no events, so I don't think there's going to be a... I don't think there's going to be a police situation. So, maybe I'm going to have to go up to Copa Prison to see if I could get a Pioneer. You know, and just go like that. But for right now, I need to figure out how to fish or kill an animal because I'm going to die soon of starvation. So, got the heat buff. It's raining again. It was raining before when I first started, but whatever. It's not the end of the world, but it doesn't help anything either. So, this is Brenna. I could tell you that because I know where I'm at. And the gas station is just on the other side of this little roadblock here. Am I going to search that? I'm not really sure. I kind of want to head south right away, only because it doesn't seem like there's much loot up here, but at the same time, I want to look at the airfield to see if it's static. You know, do I want to get over to Topland? Kinda. They got the fire station over there. You know, do I think there's any loot there? Probably not. There's not any loot anywhere else. But, I'm kind of thinking that I would do better if I got south right away. You know? More or less kind of like the game says, the further inland you travel, the more you'll find. And everybody considers the river on this Livonia the coast. So... Alright, we got our heat buff. Should have... Oh. Okay, ZK cap. It is badly damaged and it's low insulation, but we're just going to change out for now. This I'm going to put in the river in case anybody else wanders by. Yeah, I don't have high hopes for finding much of anything, you know, unless it's on a zombie or I should say infected. And only because, like, everybody that does a hardcore server, they really make it so there's no, oh, a whole box of 45, holy cow. I'm just wondering now how long it's going to be until I find, you know, an actual 45 to use it in. Yeah, I'm dying already because of the water situation. Should I have gone up to the well pump in Brenna? Yeah, probably. Am I going to drink some of the river water? Yeah, maybe. Oh, I didn't see where he went. You know, so now I'm kind of in dire straits, so I'm going to have to drink some river water and see what happens, see where that takes me. This canteen, I'm just going to drink it for now, because it's a possibility it could be clean. Okay. So let me run up to the well pump. Let me not, you know, try to rush through this. Let me go up to the well pump here in Brenna, and there could be a chicken or something like that around, because at the end of the day, there's no point in me just running to my death. You know what I'm saying? But is that a mummy? Or a guy with a headlamp on? The headlamp I need. You know, I just don't want to... I don't want to die for no stupid reason right away. And I know I could just respawn and keep going. That's not the point. Oh, matches. Nice, nice. That, I believe, is an infected with a headlamp, so I'm going to have to be strategic when I kill him. Just so I could keep that headlamp. Oh, duffel bag. Could use that, absolutely. Perfect, perfect. Alright, so now I got the headlamp. This is badly damaged, but it carries more. Okay, so now at least we got a headlamp, and we got some storage space, we can carry some stuff. So the mummies, you can stealth kill them also. A lot of people don't know that. When I do it in front of them, they're like, oh my god, I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, you can stealth kill anything in this game. You could even sneak up behind animals. But the well pump is right here because we're at the center of town. And I need to get inside somewhere and make a fire because I'm going to die soon without it. and there is restrictions now as far as height restrictions when you make a fire, so it's a pain, but they keep changing the game, you know. Like, everybody treats it like a milsim, but it's like, hold on a second, let's change it. But my matches are probably wet too, so let's just get in here and see what the deal is. Might have to run back out and get some, don't be damp, don't be damp. Yeah, of course they're damp. Alright, so I just need one piece of bark. Yeah, see, I'm red health already. More likely than not, like, I might survive, but I may not either, just because it's gonna take so long to get a fire going. If those matches weren't damp, I would have had a better shot, but they are, so it is what it is. See, my guy's hobbling along already. Yeah, I'm flashing. So, I didn't play my cards right, and I just waited too long. I'm still gonna give it a go, but still gonna try my best to keep the guy alive. But see, I'm helping by 2 now. So, and it takes a minute for the fire to get going to warm you up, so it's another issue. But if I live, I live, and if I die, I die. We'll get going again. Yeah, there we go. So, I died with all my stuff. I didn't drop anything on the ground, so I'm not trying to cheat the run, but that was a pretty good run for a hardcore server where there's no loot anywhere. And then let's just see where we're at right now. This, I believe, is Gleniska. You know, Brenna's not that far from here, but I don't think I'll be able to make it back there before my body despawns. I'm gonna try though, because I could use that rope from the guts, you know what I'm saying? So let's not be dumb about it. But I'm just not sure there's enough time physically for me to run back there. But we'll try. Usually bodies despawn in about 10 to 15 minutes. And I don't know what this server setting is, but like I said, those guts will help us make rope. And then the clothes, I could use those to make rags. So we'll try. Anything's possible. You never know where the day is going to take you. I mean, realistically, we are, like, so close, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm gonna have to run up that street, but if I could just get in range, right, the body won't despawn. So, we're already chunked health and going down by 2, so I don't have high hopes for it. Yeah, that's the crossroad right there, so maybe. Who knows? It's up in the air. There's the fox. Of course, I should have hit him with my knife, but I didn't. I was thinking about getting to my body. Only because I need that rope. The fishing is more important at this point than a fox. Like, if I could actually get some rope, I could max my stats out. So we're almost there. Gas station is right down here, so if I could get to that body, I already had a fire, like, getting ready to go, so. Hopefully I could get up there while the body's still there before my health starts flashing and make the fire. Yeah, got a cold. That's alright. I can cure that with fire maybe. That's the gas station right there. So I just have to avoid all that. The sickness I don't care about, because if I make all the stuff from that body, I could just drop it on the ground and go back and get it. But it's just getting there that's going to be the issue. See, I'm yellow, going down by 2. Whatever I gotta do to get there and survive. The body should still be there. It's only taken me a few minutes to get back, so if the body's not there, then I'm just gonna respawn and start a new run. But you see I'm red health already, so. Am I gonna get there in time before I die? Who knows? Probably not. If I had a morphine right now, I'd be able to run, but I don't. See, I'm going down by 3. Yeah, no, I'm never gonna make it. Yeah, all day I should have been able to make that. Oh, man. The house is right there in front of me, too, which is a bummer. But it only takes me like 2-3 seconds to cut the body up. And then at least I'd be able to come back to get some rope. Yeah, it's right there. The body's right inside that door. Yeah, and I'm dead. I was 25 feet from cutting up that body. Alright, so where are we at now? it would be nice if we were close by and I could get both those bodies. I could use the rope and the clothes. I want to say I'm in top one. Yeah, it's starting to get monotonous. I'm going to take a break in a minute, but yeah, this is definitely top one. I need to make like a coffee or tea or something. But, I mean, I know where some loot is here. I just don't want to touch it. Not only because it's not mine, but I don't want to cheat myself. You know, because if I go and take the loot, then I'm like, basically, I know that's DayZ, but I don't want to cheat myself. Let's just run to the fire station and see what there is. Because I think what I'm going to have to do is cheat the system a little bit and just kill myself at spawn and then respawn and cut up my body. If I could do it fast enough. Is that possible? I don't know. But at the same time, like, I'm gonna get bored with this running for 20 minutes and dying too, so. I mean, honestly, what I should have did on my last run is just make a fire right away and eat my food, but I was such in a rush to get over there that, I just ran there. If I would have got the heat buff first, I would have made it. So that was my own stupidity. This is the police station, for which they got bullets and stuff, but I don't need that. I need good clothes. Flare's good. I could use that. Let me show you this tent with this loot so that you don't think I'm just bullshitting you. I could get a really good start if I steal this stuff too. But another player's been working for, I don't know, he's gonna be working for a long time. Or he just got on the server when it was still at vanilla settings. Yeah, see? That press vest is mine from earlier. This bear right here with the flag. But these supplies right here, yo, I could get off with this stuff right now. Like, are you kidding me? He's got a real fish hook. You know? Well, I'm just like, I'll basically just be stealing somebody else's progress, you know? And it'll cheat myself. But I'm gonna get rid of this guy and keep it moving. no matter where I spawn, I'm still gonna take a minute. I gotta make a tea or something. Grabbing. Well pumped. Yeah, there's no way I'm not going to be able to cycle the spawn and, you know, cut up the body before it despawns. Yeah, I'll be right back.